Giving in to our children all the time will make them feel entitled, but how can we deal with entitlement in children? Here with tips is Dr. Rob Robinson, Clinical Director of Family Care Counseling Associates in Wilbraham. Dr. Rob, love having you here.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Always have good advice. Entitlement in children. I actually was at a baby shower recently,
yes,
and this was the topic of conversation around the breakfast table.
Big topic.
It's a big problem.
It is. You know, I think one of the things that happens is that, you know, the major piece is that children get an overly inflated sense of, you know, their own importance. And there's implications in terms of how respectful they are to others, and this idea that they just have to keep getting more and more and more in order to be happy, which is, you know, a nasty place to be, really.
Right, exactly.
People.
That can snowball real quick. So there's many issues with, with entitlement in children. The creation of the "it's your job to make me happy" mentality.
What could possibly go wrong with that? I mean, really.
What could go wrong?
I mean, if you really believe that it's someone else's job to make you happy, you'll never be happy. Right. And that's something that children learn at an early age when they're constantly catered to and given everything of what they simply want. So it's an endless point of never being, you know, pleased. There's never any gratification because they're always on to the next thing that they want or they see, and it's just endless.
Relying on material things for happiness, which we know will never bring it.
Correct. And they just never learn to rely on themselves to create that happiness.
One of the issues. Another issue is that they never learn to deal with frustration, and they don't develop resilience.
Right. That's huge. You know, it's through frustration and adversity that you develop resilience, where you're able to kind of know that when things happen, bad things happen, it's not the end of the world. You can get over stuff. And the only way you can really learn to deal with frustration is to be frustrated. And so, you know, in an attempt on our part as parents to give our kids everything, we're really preventing an opportunity for them to learn how to manage hearing the word no or having goals blocked sometimes. And really, I mean, nothing ever goes completely the way you want oftentimes. So you learn that stuff in the beginning of your life by hearing the word no and not getting the things that you want all the time.
Losing isn't always a bad thing.
That's correct.
And let's quickly talk about the big me, little we mentality.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing with entitlement is that you really get an overly inflated sense of who you are. And, you know, so you have this kind of special treatment and entitlement going on in your family, and then you go off to, you know, primary school or elementary school, and you enter into a social arena where you're just special like everybody else. I mean, there's nothing more special about you. Right. Yet if you come out of this environment, this family structure where you're treated as if you're a god,
given everything.
Well, I mean, you expect that kind of treatment from people, that kind of entitlement, if you will, and that's just not how the world's set up.
Exactly.
So it really disables the child from understanding and knowing where they fit into the grand scheme of things.
Let's talk about what parents can do to curb this mentality, to curb entitlement issues. The first thing is John Roseman. Tell me about him.
Well, John Roseman is an author, actually, who's written many articles on parenting. And by the way, in case I forget to mention this, he has a great book that he wrote a number of years ago called The 6-Point Plan for Raising Happy, Healthy Kids. I think it's a great book that has a lot of great common sense approaches to parenting that help work with some of these issues and many more. So, but you know, Roseman said he has a motto that basically says, or a guideline that basically says, you give children everything they need, but very little of what they simply want. You know, obviously they need to have, you know, food, clothing, shelter, but you really have to really stop and think, you know, I'm not going to give this kid everything they simply desire, because it really leads to this mentality that you got to have stuff in order to be happy.
I know, I read a quote once: to raise happy kids, spend much less money on them and more time.
Absolutely.
So it is that, always remembering that to curb that. Let's talk about money doesn't grow on trees. That's an important lesson.
That's true. I mean, the other thing, the way that kids can develop an appreciation, well, they develop an appreciation for two things if they earn it. First of all, that things have value. You know, that if you're working to get money, to earn money, to get some of what you want, then you begin to develop the appreciation that things actually cost things. If you never have to earn anything, then it's money grows on trees. You know, there's no limit to money. You know, I can get as much as I want just by asking for what I need. Money, I don't have to pay for it. So there's no appreciation for the value of money. And the other piece that's important is that they never really get to appreciate it as much as when they earn it. You know, when there's an investment in things that you you earn. So the tendency is to take better care of it and to treat it with more respect and to have more gratification from what it is that you earn rather than just the pleasure from the item.
Absolutely.
Gratification is a much more enduring piece than just the simple pleasure of getting it, using it, and then discard it.
It's true.
You know, the average American 5-year-old is a kid who's consumed over 250 toys. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah,
but
and
that's true.
That's not going to bring them lasting happiness, and we
That's
have to remember
correct.
that as parents. We have a minute left.
Yes.
We want to talk about parent-centered family versus a child-centered family.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing, sometimes when kids enter the picture and then, you know, start a family and you have children, parents, I think, make a mistake unknowingly by placing the kids at the center of the family, which again contributes to this sense of, you know, deeper importance than even the parents. The parents really need to be at the center of the family. They're the leaders. They provide the structure. They provide the guidance. They provide the discipline. They're in charge, right? But when you have a child-centered family, that begins to wash away a bit. And then the kid actually begins to start making the calls, and the parents are kind of rotating around the children. You don't want that dynamic in a family.
It's a good thing to have a parent-centered family.
Absolutely.
And lastly, allow children to do chores, put them to work, and use consequences.
Yes, and you know, and that's a place where you can earn the money to get the things that you want. But
Right.
chores, I mean, chores really give children an opportunity to learn how to live on their own and take responsibility as they go on. And it's a great place if you tie chores into some earning allowance, and then they can begin to pay for some of what they want. You know, chores just helps, it helps them develop a sense of responsibility and where they fit into the scheme of things. And consequences teach the order of things. Without consequences, kids really have difficulty developing a conscience about things and understanding why things are wrong. So consequences really help with that entitlement piece as well.
Yes, and involving your kids around the house chores, it's a good thing for them, it's good for parents. If I can get a break from doing those dishes once in a while, Dr. Rob, it'd be wonderful.
Exactly.
So nice to
There
have
you
you
go.
here. I
Nice
will
to be
apply
here.
all of these wonderful tips into my life, and I know a lot of
Good
our
for you.
viewers will as well.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here.